So here's a photo of a candy darter. I came across this as I was looking for something else. It had a link to the Fish and Wildlife Service, and so I picked up some basic facts. It lives in Virginia, West Virginia only. It recently was put on the endangered species list. I've got the genus and species name. Wikipedia pointed out that the decline is probably due to human activity. So I did a quick brainstorm free write. I put down my ideas about this. I'm interested because the fish appears very beautiful to me. I do like to go freshwater fishing, but I have never seen a fish like this before. I'm interested in the fact of it being endangered. I'm wondering what's going on with protection or recovery. I think part of the process of that would be looking at genetics, to differentiate from other species of the darters, and what the water or living conditions would be, or competitive species. So I'm going to do a quick search in the biological science database, the context of which I thought would include, specific kinds of fish. With a quick search of candy darter, I only got 15 results, and that does concern me. I'm wondering if after this I may have to search elsewhere to find additional sources. But when I look at a list of results, the first thing I do is look for my phrase down through the list. And so it's appearing. Now there's some that are just darter without the full phrase, but several of these do have that phrase. So that's initially a good start. I'm seeing they're all available in full text. I am seeing fairly current dates, 2018 on this one, for example. And let's go back to the top. The first result is a 2019, maybe about 10 pages. That's pretty good. Genetic swamping and possible species collapse. So genetic swamping is interesting to me as a concept. I don't know what introgression means. So I'm going to come back to solve that in a moment. Variegate darter, I'm not sure what that is, but I'm wondering if that implies some sort of mixing of the genetics. In the abstract here, we're seeing genetic integrity. Okay, so that's kind of pointing to that same problem. And here's another problem, extirpation. I don't know what that means. So let me pop over quickly to Google and ask it to define extirpation. So that's local extinction of an organism. So it's not totally extinct if it exists elsewhere, but in my case, that may be what will happen if they can't be saved in Virginia. Okay, and the other word was introgression, the transfer of genetic information from one species to another as a result of hybridization. Right, okay, so that could be the problem that is occurring for this particular fish. And I think those would be words that I will add to my list of search terms. The second one, remaining populations, I see candy darter and the genus and species. That looks good. That would be one I would want to take a look at. Third one, distributions is good, of 3 Estheostoma darters. Oh, but not the right species, I don't think. And also it says Ohio. So I would predict that this article will not have a great focus on the candy darter in Virginia. Another issue I see with this one is that it says Candy Run as the name of a place in Ohio, so not related to, so to sum up here, if the idea is that this population needs to be protected and perhaps moved to better habitat, I can connect with that because I remember a story years ago about people who collected some kind of minnow in Oregon in from puddles in buckets and moved them into a stream where they have now recovered. Um, and I can see that researchers are interested in this particular species and in how fish populations are identified and measured. So I'm thinking this is something I could continue to pursue. And in using candy darter as a search, and then those other search words, introgression or extirpation, maybe as concepts, to narrow the search a bit more when I look out on the web.